out to you. For those who are on the call, I'm going to send it out, the recording, only for those who show up. Before we get started, I do want to, just go through and, have you introduce yourselves. Hi, D. Have you introduce yourself, where you from and what type of business you have. So we're going to start with you, Carolyn, since you were, you can go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, my name is Carolyn Kenzelo Beckett, and I'm the CEO and owner of a company called Life Act 3, and it's coaching, speaking, training type of a business. Okay. And I chose that. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask, what type of coaching do you do?
Oh, right now I'm trying to break into contracting. That's that's why I'm on the call.
Absolutely.
And business coaching. I do one-on-one personal coaching right now. But in the past I have done more team building and group coaching.
Awesome, great. Kenya. So Kenya, welcome to the call. I don't know if you can unmute yourself, but go ahead. I would love to, where you're from and to give a brief introduction about your business. Okay. So maybe while she was waiting maybe she's learning how to unmute herself, but we'll move on to Roxanne.
Hey everybody, sorry about that. I am Roxanne and I am a coach, a life coach, and I do mental mastery. So I do mindfulness, I also do emotional intelligence, and I also just help people who are stuck in a place and feel like they just can't come out of there. So I help them break those limits and beliefs.
Awesome. And where are you from, Roxanne?
I'm from Conyers, Georgia.
Georgia. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me see. D.
Good evening, everybody. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Good evening.
Okay, so good evening, everybody. I'm D. I actually reside in Maryland. I'm what's called a dualpreneur. So by day, I'm actually a government contractor. I work for a government contractor and actually have my own revenue recovery business. And so my intent tonight is to learn how to do what I do for the government as an employee in my own business, but to not only just close out contracts, but also to work with the government, the contractors who are challenged with collecting their money, how to teach them how to recover their money.
Yeah, awesome. I'm really excited to have you here. Elizabeth, can you take notes for me of the people where they're from, their business? Okay, thank you. Okay, so I'm really bad at names, so forgive me if I pronounce your name wrong. I know you just told me. Onyenye.
Yeah.
Oh, I said it right?
Yeah, so I reside right now Phoenix, Arizona, but I'm from Brooklyn, New York. And I'm a transformation life and business coach. And yeah, I think that's all you asked, right?
Awesome. Yeah. Great. Awesome. Welcome. So we have Adrian. Adrian, welcome to the call. So we're just doing a brief introduction of who you are, where you're from, and the business service that you provide.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi. Okay. I don't know what's. I'm working on my iPad here, and it's not letting me connect on video. But
okay.
Hey everybody, I'm Adrienne Graham, founder of Mobile Chicks. I work with women, Black and Latino women, to help them grow and scale their companies and to get investment dollars from VC and angel investors. And we also help women of color learn how to become angel investors. So that's the Cliff Notes version of what I do.
Hey, all right. Hi, Adrian. I just realized who you are. Okay, so Kenya, were you able to unmute yourself? Maybe not. If not, then I'm going to go ahead and, just go ahead and get started, with what we're here to learn today. And then I'll introduce myself, of course, so you guys know a little bit about myself. Yeah, we're going to get into that in just a moment. But first, I want to, just welcome you to, can you all see my screen? I just want to make sure. Yeah, can you see my screen? Yeah. Okay. So if you have any questions, go ahead and feel free to post your questions in the chat, because I'm actually going to be checking the chat throughout. But definitely, I want to welcome you to, to this free training today. It's about government contracts for women-owned small business and minority-owned small business. And so if this is something that you've never heard of, or if you've never done, or just curious about, it's going to be like one of the most amazing pieces of information that you can ever get. Like really, it's not only you know, something that's helped me to really grow my business, but like I have clients that are, you know, landing multi-million-dollar contracts, six-figure contracts, multiple six-figure contracts. And so as a small business owner, this is really just a piece that you can add to really build sustainability. And I'm going to go through all the secrets, all the strategies, and how to get started, you know, in this amazing field. And so it's a very clear and proven strategy that actually absolutely works. And so if you're thinking like, is this one of those things? No, it's not going to be one of those things. This is going to be something real, right? So housekeeping, I know you all probably already on mute, but I really want you to pay attention over the next few minutes. So I'm going to get through this, you know, no longer than 45 minutes to an hour at the most. And that's based on if you have a lot of questions or not. But really, I want you to just, you know, eliminate distractions and really focus on what I'm going to share with you, because this is going to be some really great information for your business. So what we're going to learn over the next few minutes are the 3 secrets to getting consistent, sustainable income. All right. As a small business owner, that's very key. I'm going to share with you the $1 trillion secret to government contracts. You're going to learn how you can significantly grow your business using this particular system that I will be sharing with you. You'll also see a live demonstration, so you'll know how to find how much the government spends on your particular business service, right? And which is key. So if you understand your market share, then you'll understand like why this is an important client for you to have. And I'm also going to share with you the simple 3 steps to how you can land the government as one of your biggest clients. Okay. Let me see. Yep, it's being recorded. Okay, so we already went through the roll call, but definitely, if you have any questions along the way, go ahead and you know, drop your questions in the chat. Now, if you're currently in business and you don't have sustainable, consistent income for your business, what are some of the reasons that you think? Like, what do you think is the reason for that? Go ahead and comment that in the chat, because I really want to know. I want to know why you think you don't have consistent, sustainable income, if that is your story, okay? If you've been in business for over 2 years and you haven't yet made 6 figures to $500,000 in your business as a woman or minority small business owner, I also want to know in the chat why. Why are some of the reasons why you think that is, okay? So Carolyn says, I'm restarting my business. And that's an excellent thing. Sometimes you do have to start over. So Derek says marketing. So yeah, so marketing could be one of the reasons why, maybe, perhaps, but we're going to find out by the end of this training, right? If that's really a problem, right? Roxanne says she's a new business startup. Okay, so congratulations on starting up your business. If you ever worry about getting regular paying customers and making consistent income in your business, you're not alone. Okay, at some point or another, all small business owners have gone through that phase, right? Of struggling to get regular paying customers. And there's some small tweaks and things that I'm going to share with you today of how to get past that hurdle. Okay, so here's some stats. There are 30.2 million, out of the 30.2 million businesses, small businesses make up 99.9% of all the businesses in the United States. That's a huge stat, right? And according to the SBA, a small business is any business that's under 500 employees and generally under like a few million, right? Like 14 million as a rough figure. And so when you really think about, if you haven't even landed 6 figures or multi 6 figures or even, 5 figures for some people in your business, then, where does that put us, right? As women and minority small business owners, sometimes it puts us as like on the scale as a micro small business owner. And I'm going to share with you why that's very important, why that's important to know where you stand on that scale. So small business is one of the fastest growing industries in the US, but yet most small businesses fail, unfortunately, within their first 5 years. Why do you think that? Why do you think that? There is a reason why. So, and it's not because of what your product or service that you're providing. Because some people are like, well, maybe I'm in a wrong business, or maybe I made a mistake to get into this business. But everything, that you provide, the service or the product that you provide, you started that business, of course, for a purpose, and you started it because you saw that there was a need for it. And so most of the time it's not because of your product or services, but it's because of the lack of knowledge, strategy, or in some cases, willingness to learn. So what I'm going to share with you today is what I call the simple 3-step system. Okay. It's called the business certifications proposals. This is a system that I created from the success that I've had. And so it doesn't exist anywhere. It's my own patented trademark. Okay. So the simple 3-step BCP system, remember, business certification and proposals, and I'll break it down for you. This is the exact same system that I used to land my first $70,000 contract for just 28 days of work. Okay. You may think, oh, how powerful, or maybe it was a coincidence, or was it accidental? And the system, right, is very proven. And it's allowed me to do this multiple times. It allowed me to get double, triple, quadruple that amount for similar days of work. And I'm going to share with you a little bit more about this system, this amazing system, and how you can actually implement this same system into your business. So this is the same system that allowed me to make 6 figures in 6 months, ending in a multi-6-figure business year, as a small business owner. And it's going to be the same exact system that will show you how you can leverage, this same system to get regular paying clients, multiple 5 to 6 figure contracts for your business without lowering your prices or spending tons of hours on social media. Because a lot of times, people think you have to either lower your prices to get regular paying customers, or just like go hard on marketing, right? And so really it's not like you can do those things, though that's the hard way, but there's a much simpler way, to get these clients, okay? And so I want to share with you a client testimonial. I'm going to close this chat up so I can see. So one of my clients, Tiffany, who recently worked with me, she's a woman-owned minority small business owner who provides professional photography and videography services. Okay, so Tiffany completed my 3-step system, this same BCP system that I just shared with you, where I recently helped her qualify her business for certification so that she can submit proposals. And now she's landing and bidding on large government contracts, like multiple 6 figures or 5-figure contracts, where before she was not doing so. Okay, so who is this going to be for? This is going to be for you if you're a woman-owned business or a minority business or just a small business in general, and you provide a professional service. You can provide products as well, because you can sell products to the government as well. So if you're a woman-owned business, minority-owned business, or a small business in general, and you sell products or services, then this is going to be for you, because the government spends services, budgets on services, okay? And so any professional service, you may wonder, like, what type of services are you talking about? Now, here are just some of the examples of the type of services that the government, procures or does procurement in, which includes security services, right? So one of my recent clients that landed his first multi-million-dollar contract actually provides security guard services. Marketing services, that can include marketing, communications, or anything that falls under that umbrella, which is like photography, media, all that. Janitorial cleaning services, communications, accounting, financial literacy, trucking, hauling, catering, music, event planning. And so, as you can see, the list goes on. Construction, real estate, public relations, there's a lot of services that, you will be amazed that the government buy. They would also buy art, like artwork. And so we're actually going to do a live demonstration. So you'll be able to see, like, how much the government spends on your services. And I'll show you exactly how to look that up. So if you've already tried word of mouth marketing, you've already tried sharing your products and services on Facebook, social media, if you've done some of those things, that traditionally we typically do because we believe that's what we need to do, to grow a business. If you've already tried Facebook ads and spent tons of money on that, or traditional media, you've already tried coupons and discounts and you're still stuck, right? If you're still stuck and in the same position, then this is going to be a very important message for you here today. So you may have even cut your prices in half and offered 2-for-1 specials, and you're still getting little to no results, right? I know so many small business owners who try that. You know, they do, the Black Friday sales and things of that nature to try do bundles, course bundles, and all that to try to really sell and move their business, right? And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't, but there's reasons behind, when it does work. There's strategies behind that. So if you have extreme highs and extreme lows in your business, then this is also going to be something for you, right? If you haven't figured out a way to generate consistent, sustainable income, then that is the problem. That is a huge problem, right? And we want to fix that. So does this sound familiar to anyone? Like any of those hurdles that I've mentioned? If it sounds familiar to you, let me know in the chat. So here's my introduction. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and why I am qualified to be sharing this information with you today. I'm Karwanna D. I'm a business growth strategist. I'm a certified business coach, government contracting consultant, and I teach women and minority small business owners in general how to grow their business with government contracts. So I have 20 plus years experience as a small business owner, and not only have I been able to grow a multi-six-figure business with government contracting, but I've also grown a significant business just teaching other people how to do it the same. So here are some of the features that I've had. I've been featured in We Think Loud publication. I've been seen on ABC, CBS News, Star Tribune, Fox, and all of these media places, right? All of those things, right? That's just to let you know that I'm just not a fly-by-night person. I've been around, I've done some things, and I've made some accomplishments. And I've also been featured like with the city on like a multi-billion-dollar contract that I was a part of as a woman-owned small business. And so this is very real, and anyone can do it. Really, it's just about positioning and strategy. And that's what I'm here to share with you today: the positioning and the strategy, how to do that. And so when I first landed, when I first started my business, and I'm gonna tell you my story, I was barely surviving, right? This was like, about 15, 20 years ago. I was barely surviving as a small business. I was barely making $20,000 a year, living in the Bay Area, and no one can live off that. So luckily, I was in a situation where I had, someone else paying like the bills and helping out in that way. And so my thing was like, I didn't want to have to go back to working for someone else. And so I knew I had to figure out a way to get over that hurdle, because a 20K year is not the business. Okay. It's not the business. It's good if it's a side hustle and you have sustainable income somewhere else. But if you are in a position where, you're the one that's going to be paying the bills, in which I ended up being in that position, I knew I wasn't going to be able to survive off a 20K a year business, right? And so I discovered something that changed my entire life, which is this very thing: government contracts, right? And so after discovering what I'm about to share with you today, that's when I landed my first $70,000 contract for just 28 days of work. And I say that because it was very powerful. So you do the math on that. Because what was I doing for those 28 days? I was going out for 2 hours a day to take photos. Okay. So a very simple service. All right. I was going out for 2 hours a day to take photos. So you take 2 times 28 and do the math. How many hours, like, for $70,000? And so just imagine having 2 of those, right? How much free time you will have to be able to build capacity or do something else, start a second business or whatever it is that you want to do. So I was able to take my business from, 20K years to generating 70K months. Okay. And now I'm landing multiple 6-figure contracts with various government agencies. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do all that. Okay. So, and the most important part of what I love to do is I help others do the same, right? I also help others get significantly more than my first experience. And so like my client, Tiffany, who recently landed her first 5-figure contract, she, originally was selling her production services for like $300 a pop, or $300 to $600. And her first contract with the government agency was actual a 5-figure contract for just 90 seconds of work. So that's just how powerful this is. Okay. So here's a commitment that I want you to make, and go ahead and, just say, give me a 1 in the chat if you agree. So if I share this with you, this one thing that I discovered, do you promise to take action? Because that's really what it's all about. It's about taking action. So go ahead and give me a 1 in the chat if you promise to take action with the secrets that I'm about to give you that nobody else is going to give you, right? This is like the game. I'm giving up the game today. So why now? Why is this important? Had I known about this thing that I discovered, you know, when I first started my business, it would have saved me years of stress, right? It would have saved me just years of struggling, all that stuff. And so that is why it's important right now for you. No matter where you are in your business, all this information is going to be important for those of you who are just starting again, or just starting up, or have had problems with like marketing your business and really finding momentum. This is going to be very important, right? So if you've ever felt this way, or maybe you feel this way now, if you struggle to get consistent, sustainable income or consistent, regular paying customers, and you're spending tons of hours chasing customers, or you feel like you're chasing customers, then this is going to be important. It's also going to be important if you haven't found a way to get that consistent, sustainable income as a business owner, which is what you need, right? Because we want to look at our business as a vehicle by which you're generating wealth. Okay. And then at one point you want to be able to retire with that vehicle. But in the first place, that vehicle has to be generating income. And that's what it's all about. So this is why this training is going to be important. Okay. So if what you're currently doing and have been doing, you know, for your entire time that you've been in business, if it hasn't worked for you, then, you know, we have to admit that something needs to change, right? We got to do something different. There's no need to continue doing the same thing in your business if you're going to continue getting the same results and you're expecting something different, right? That's the total definition of insanity, right? If you're doing the same thing over and over and you believe you're going to get different results, it's not going to work, okay? So the reason why I'm so passionate about helping you is because I'm a woman-owned business and I'm a minority-owned business. And so I understand the struggle and I know what it means to, you know, to really make it, right? I know what it means and I know what it feels like to really get to the other side of struggle, right? And to achieve those amazing goals in your business, right? So I know what it means. I know what it's going to mean to you in your business and in your family and in your legacy. So I've been there, and it's nothing like worrying about if you're going to get enough customers to be able to at least pay your bills, right? That's the biggest struggle for small business owners. Like, you know, it's a frustration when, you know, you have this amazing business and you're barely making it and you're trying to figure out how to survive. And then you're thinking about, oh, do I have to go back to working and being a slave, you know, a slave for someone else, which is nothing wrong if you're working for someone else, if that's what you have to do. But eventually, ultimately, you want to, you know, you started a business so that you can actually be your own boss. And that's really what it's all about. So those are the things, like when you're worrying, it kind of puts you in a desperate place. And that's when you start like doing anything and everything, like, you know, creating coupons and, you know, marketing, word of mouth. And you'll find that you're spending a lot more time running around in your business than you are generating income in your business. And so that's considered a broke business model. And we don't want to have a broke business model. Trust me, I've been there. Okay. So this one thing that I'm going to share with you is exactly what's helped me to get over those hurdles. And it's helped me to have a stress-free business. Okay. And I want to help you with this. So by the end of this training, my goal is to show you the exact 3-step system that's helped me to make $70,000 for just those 28 days of work as a woman and minority small business owner. That is going to be key. Okay. And it's going to show you how you can use this exact same system to gain regular paying clients and consistent income without lowering your prices, without spending tons of hours on social media, doing word of mouth marketing or any of that stuff. And so you're going to learn all that stuff. So there's going to be 3 steps to getting consistent income as a woman or minority small business owner using this system. Are y'all ready for it? Go ahead and give me a 1 in the chat if you're ready for the 3-step system. Okay. All right. So there's going to be 3 steps here, and I'm going to share with you right now. So myth number 1, and here's the first myth to the first step. Most people think that all you need is a business license and a product or service to build a business. Okay. Is that what you think? Like, most people think that, hey, I'm going to start this business. I've seen so many businesses go up and they think just business license, a product and service, and the people are going to come. Like, if you build it, they will come. And that is like completely false. And that if you build it, they will come, right? They meaning customers, and they don't, right? So the truth of the fact is, here's some facts around that. And this is the secret to step number 1. There are some specific fundamental steps that you have to take to attract customers. Okay. You can't just build it and expect them to come, right? These steps gives you what's called the business foundation. These steps gives you the business foundation that big paying clients basically are attracted to, and they come looking for you because it's showing that you have stability. And so that first step in business, step number one, which is business, that foundation is going to be key, right? So those steps includes having not only a business license, right? Not just building the business and thinking that people will come, but here are some of the things in the checklist that you will have to have in order to have a strong business foundation. In your email, when you register for this program, I also sent a complete checklist. So there's some additional documents on here, but these are just the basics, right? And so business license, EIN, which is basically like a social security number for your business. Most of you may have that. But for those who don't, you get that free at irs.gov. Next on the list is your Dun and Brad number. That is free, right? And so in order to be able to do business with the federal government, get federal funding and federal grants, you have to have that number, right? Business taxes is another one. So if you've been in business for a year or 2 years, then you definitely want to have a copy of your business taxes along with the Schedule C. These are the things that help you have a business foundation. And these are also the pre-qualification documents to, doing business with the government. Okay, so that's why I'm sharing it. Articles of incorporation. So if you are sole proprietorship, you would not have that. But if you are an LLC or a corporation on any level, then you would have to have a copy of your articles of incorporation, along with a business phone and fax number and a website. So these are the pre-qualifications. This is the list of pre-qualifications, how to get started with government contracts. So step number one is the business foundation, right? And so again, the full checklist is in your email. If you registered for this program, you should have the full complete checklist of everything that you need in this step. Okay, so here's an example of this particular business foundation step and why it's important and how this can really help you grow your business. Okay, so let's just say Hannah, for example, let's say she has a small business providing marketing and branding services. So So let's just say Hannah has a business license and her EIN, and that's it. Okay. So I give this scenario because that's really most small business owners that I come across. This is all they have. They have a business license and they know about the EIN. That's it. Right. But because she does marketing and branding, she has the opportunity to get large, multiple 5- and 6-figure contracts with the government agencies. Right. But because she's missing most of the fundamental documents that says, hey, I have a stable business, I have a strong business foundation, then she's not qualified. The government agencies, they never look her way. And chances are she'll never know about this amazing opportunity to do business with the government. And so that is why the business foundation, the checklist of documents that you have to have, is going to be key, right? That is the first step to doing business with the government. So instead of getting large 70K contracts with government agencies or larger as a marketing communications specialist, she hustles every day trying to get $100 clients on a regular basis. So imagine the difference, like visualize the difference between hustling to get $100 clients doing marketing and services, selling marketing services to them, right? And how much of the volume of people or clients you have to have in order to even get to $70,000 at the end of the year versus having one contract that's $70,000 for just like 28 days of work, right? It's just imagine that. And so it's a big difference, right? And so can you relate to this? Are you that Hannah? Are you hustling to get customers? Are you selling your services at, pennies on a dollar, like really, really cheap? Or are you actually getting contracts, which I'm pretty sure if you're on this webinar, it's probably because you're not getting that and you would like to have that in your business. So can you relate to Hannah though? Is that something that you can relate to, her story? But here's the flip side. Once Hannah discovers the qualifications checklist for her business foundation, right? Step one, she is then qualified to do 6-figure contracts with the government, and she no longer has to chase $100 clients. Okay. So big difference. So business foundation is going to be key. That is how you qualify yourself to do business with the government, right? So we're going to switch from, $100 clients, $50 hour clients to, large 5- and 6-figure dollar clients, right? And that's how you qualify yourself for that. Okay. So now all she needs is one client. right? As opposed to multiple $100 clients to land $70,000 in 28 days. So all she needs is one versus 70 or 700. Okay, so now do you see how having this right business foundation can help you attract major clients? This shows you that this shows basically the government agencies that you're seriously in business and that you have a strong foundation that's ready for the capacity and growth. Right. And so that's why that business foundation is important. But also when it comes to the business foundation, I do want to share that this same foundation that we're building to pre-qualify for government contracts is the exact same foundation that you can actually pivot off or leverage to build business credit, right? And so with your vehicle, like this business model that you have as a vehicle, we want to think about it as a wealth building strategy, right? A wealth building generating system, right? So if you can pre-qualify for government contracts, you can also spin off that same foundation to build, business credit and attract alternative business funding and attract business capital and venture capitalists because you have a strong foundation, right? They're not going to look at you unless you have all of those things in place. Okay. So here's myth number 2, right? And this is going to be unlocking the secret to step number 2, which is going to be certification. So most people think that in order to get consistent, sustainable income as a small business, you have to chase down as many customers as possible every single month, right? And so you're constantly chasing customers, trying to get that sale, right? And that's a real myth. That is a real belief that small businesses, have. They believe that you got to chase down. The more customers you chase down, the more revenues you can get. But really, all you need is one. On this side of the world with government contracts, all you need is one. Okay. So what are some of the things that you think you have to do to get consistent, sustainable income? I'm curious to know. So let me know in the chat. I'm really curious to know, like, what are some of the things you think and you believe that you have to do to get consistent income? So D says, so if we have the complete checklist, how do we begin the next step in the process? Okay, so good question, D. So yeah, so we're gonna get to that. Okay, definitely, we're gonna get to that. All right, so be present on social media in some way. Yeah. So Carolyn says, you think you have to be present on social media in some way. Have to market yourself constantly to let the world know that you exist via social media. Yeah. And so just imagine how hard that is. And, social media is a really noisy place, right? There's millions of people on social media. How do you make yourself stand out, right? And especially if you're a small business and you don't have like millions of dollars to, put into Facebook ads or social media ads or Google ads, like for the marketing and for ads, the ad spend, you don't have that, right? And so organically, when you're thinking about doing that organically, just think about like how much time you would actually be spending in your business versus time getting customers, right? And so I know what it's like. I've been there. And so, yeah, those are strategies that people believe, but do they actually work, right? And are they working for you? So most people think that to have, regular paying customers, that you have to have regular sales and discounts, go hard on guerrilla marketing, like what you're talking about. And, for Crystal is saying, like being present on social media. Carolyn is saying the same thing. People think that you have to spend countless hours at networking events, right? But you got to think about it. At networking events, everybody's there to network. Everybody's selling their stuff. Everybody is there trying to get a customer. Attend flea markets, and that's for people who have products, right? Attend flea markets, market on social media, like that. That is like a common one, right? Obviously, we're all sharing that. Offer free coaching sessions, right? Roxanne says offer free coaching sessions. And then people also think that you have to buy, Facebook ads or spend money on ads, right? All of these are myths, right? All of these are myths. These are things that we throw a lot of time in and we spend a lot of money on, but we get little results. And, the proof is in the pudding, right? But the truth is, let me tell you, all you have to do to get consistent, sustainable income as a small business, y'all ready for it? I'm not going to say it until y'all throw me a 1 in the chat. Let me know if you're ready. Let me know. Give me a 1 if you're ready. If you really want to know what you need to do to get consistent, sustainable income without doing all that stuff, without being on social media, without networking, without all the marketing, without spending money on ads. Roxanne says 1, Kenya says 1, Athena says 1, Carolyn says 1. All right, Elizabeth says 1, Crystal says 1, Roxanne. All right, y'all ready? Okay, so it looks like everybody's ready. This is what you have to do, right? And this is step 2, certifications. All you have to do is identify yourself as a small business owner with government agencies, and you will instantly gain access to a pool of top paying customers who are already ready. They're waiting to buy from you. They're waiting to buy. They have pools of money. They have credit cards on hand. They have checkbooks, and they're waiting for you, right? And so that is the step 2 strategy, right? So the first step is pre-qualifying, the business foundation, right? So that's going to be key. The second step is certifications, getting yourself identified with government agencies as a woman-owned business, as a minority-owned business, as a small business, right? Those are the certifications. So that is step 2. Right? So we can kick all the social media marketing to the side. We can kick all the fluff of, spending money on ads and going to networking events. You don't have to do none of that. All you have to do is one simple thing, and that's get certified as a small business. Okay. That's step 2, right? And so I'm going to use my own personal testimony as a story, as an example. And a few years ago, and this is the truth, like a few years ago, I was stressed out, spending countless hours chasing customers. So all those things that you guys mentioned, I did that, right? I did that. I was on social media, didn't get customers. I spent a lot of time at networking events, didn't get customers. Or maybe you almost to get a customer, right? You sit down and you spend like 2 hours explaining to them and chatting with them and having lunch with them and all that stuff, or traveling to meet with them in person. And then, they're like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna let you know. And then weeks go by, and then it's not a customer, right? It doesn't convert into a customer. And so I remember my spouse at the time was like, oh, you're spending so much time on your business, but I'm not seeing no results. Like, I don't see the money, right? It doesn't add up, and it doesn't. It didn't add up. And so, so I've done all those things, right? So I've done all those things. I would meet with them individually and try to explain to them, exactly how I can help you with your business, how I can help them with their business. And so sometimes what will happen is, after all the hours of trying to convince, right? This is the chase customer syndrome, right? After all the hours of having to convince them to buy my services and to let me help them with their business, and customizing my package like to fit their needs, because sometimes you have to be really creative and kind of customize, I would get, let me get back to you. I would get, let me get back to you. I'll give you a call. Yeah, I'm interested, but let me wait. I'm waiting for my payday or whatever, right? And so I would always end up anxious, like, okay, I think I got a customer. And then sometimes I would be disappointed. Sometimes I will close the sale, but sometimes I will be disappointed. But when you already are a small business and you're already selling your services really, really low, and then you're spending all that time just to flip a customer, right? And then the money just doesn't add up. Like, you're spending more time on your business than you are, getting paid in your business. Okay. So sometimes they would, buy with me, and sometimes they wouldn't. But as a small business owner whose income relies heavily at that time upon getting individual customers, I needed every single customer. So instead of running my business, I found myself chasing customers. And so at the end of the day, I always had to start back at 0 and do the chase again the following day. And so that is the reason why, or one of the top reasons why, entrepreneurs, especially small business owners, especially minority small business owners, right, get burnt out. And their businesses fail, right, in the first 5 years, if you even survive that long. So is this something that you've done in your business? Is this where you are in your business? Are you chasing customers? Are you spending a lot of time on social media chasing customers? Are you spending a lot of time on marketing for your business? Like, have you been there? Let me know in the chat. So D Brown wants to know, do you mean that we have to get officially certified through the SBA or somewhere else? How does getting the certification help to gain my first government contract? Okay. So scenario, I'm gonna give you a scenario. Okay. And this is a real life scenario. Okay. So the government has a obligation to spend a certain percentage of all of their contracting dollars with women and minority small business owners. Okay. So remember that. If you are a woman in business, right, you can't just be a woman in business and not officially own that certificate that says I am a woman-owned business. They're not gonna know, Okay, so you have to officially become a woman-owned business. If you are a minority-owned business, you have to officially become that minority-owned business, right? In order for them to know that you exist, right? So these trillions of dollars, right? So in 2019, the government spent $4.4 trillion on the federal level only, right? So you got to think federal, state, local. How much money is the government spending on services? Lots. Okay, if a certain percentage of that pool of money has to go to you as a woman-owned business, that's a lot of money on the table, right? And so that is why you have to officially become a woman-owned business, because you can only claim it with your certificate. You can only claim that. And these are not grants, these are real live contracts that you have to actually provide the service. And so they give you a contract to provide a certain scope of work. You give them a quote for how much you're going to charge for that, and you sign a contract, you do the work, they pay you. That's how simple it is. You don't have to spend tons of hours dating them, going to coffee lunches, and you don't have to do none of that stuff to chase them. You don't have to spend ads and none of that stuff. You can market yourself 100% free to the government. Okay. Oh, hi, Angela. So Angela, there's a lot more. So we covered women, minority, small business, right? There's service disabled for veterans. So if there's contracts set aside for you, if you're a veteran, there's contracts set aside for you if you're a member of the LGBT group, right? There's a lot. There's a contract set aside for you if your business is zoned in what's called a hub zone area, which is like underutilized areas, like urban communities and things of that nature. So there's a lot. So Tamika said, I'm a vet. Okay. So you're a vet, the government got money for you. Okay. She said, I'm done courting people. And so that is why, right? The business foundation got to be right first, right? So you have to have that, right? Certifications, that's the second phase, right? So you have to have that, right? In order to claim those pools of money. And I'm actually going to show you like how much the government spends. And so I'll show you the strategy. And so you can actually look it up as well, right? So do you find yourself constantly chasing customers instead of running your business? How many of you are chasing customers a lot more than you are actually running your business, right? I know what that feels like, okay? So Crystal says, I'm rushing ahead. And when I ask, how do I get certified as a woman on, am I rushing ahead? Yeah, a little bit. Okay, so we're going to get there. Okay, we're going to get there. Tracy, hi, Tracy. Welcome. But once I certified my business as a woman-owned small business with government agencies, right? So I had to do it too. That's why I'm telling y'all, this is the system. This is the strategy. I had to do it. So everything that I'm telling you, I had to do it in order that's how I landed that first contract of $70,000. If you want to know, for 28 days of work, is because first I had to get my business right. Okay. So a lot of times, we have businesses that are we don't know where our taxes are, haven't filed taxes. We don't have no documentation. And so we're just in business. And so this forces you to step up to the plate. This forces you to, to really build a strong business foundation, right? So we're talking about some people are in the business for flipping business, like business startups, right? They're in the business for building that business up and then selling it for billions of dollars, right? And this is what this basically, you're building that $1 billion foundation. Eventually you can sell that, right? So if you're thinking long term, that foundation is going to be key, right? To eventually being able to sell your business. Okay. And then the certification part. So I'm self-certified. Does that count for anything? Yes, it does. So Tamika, I'm guessing that you are self-certified as a woman-owned small business with the SBA. Okay. And it counts. It does. So let me see. I was able to take my business from chasing customers to virtually having them chase me. Okay. So remember in the beginning when I was saying that I used to chase customers, right? I used to spend hours at networking events, hours sitting down, talking to them, trying to convince them, right? So once I'd done those first two steps that I shared with you just now, right? Then the government will chase you. Because guess what? They have to spend those dollars. They have to spend it. And so once you're registered, you're in the system, you're on their radar, they'll start reaching out to you, right? Especially during the end of their fiscal year when they have all of this money still left over. They're like, who can we give this to? Where are the women-owned business? Where are the minority-owned business? We have these contracts for, disadvantaged business, but there's a strategy in order for them to even know that you exist. Okay. So I remember those days. Yeah, I remember those days too. Yeah. So that is the step 2. So now all you do, okay. So, So wait, let me see, where am I? So now all I do is bid on contracting opportunities. Okay. So for me, those opportunities have been, you know, on average 70K or more, 160, 50, 150K, 160K, right? 20, $30,000 for like a day, 2 days, 3 days. And so it gets crazy. And the contract dollar amount is going to be very relevant to the service that you provide. Like for me, I was doing photography stuff. And so for photo work, that's good, right? So if you're in construction, or if you have a security company, or if you're doing like logistics or trucking or anything like that, of course, those contracts, those minimum contracts are going to be in the hundreds of thousands. It's going to be even in the millions, right? And so it's all relevant to what you do. So now do you see, and let me know, do you see how identifying yourself as a woman and minority owned business with the government is going to help you generate consistent income? Because let's just say if you landed a $70,000 contract and you invoice that in 1 month and you get that $70,000, right? Hopefully you're not going to spend every single penny of that $70,000 in one month, right? And so Lord help us. Okay. And so if you're used to paying yourself, you know, $5,000, $12,000 or whatever, then that can sustain you over the next few months. For some people, that's their annual income, right? Working 40 hours a week. And so that's just one contract. So just imagine if you had 2 to 3, right? So we're talking about 6 figures, right? And so 6 figures, you're not going to spend all that 6 figures, right? So over those few months or over that year or 2 years, right? That's going to help you build capacity. You're going to become like an employer, right? You're going to be able to hire people in your community. It helps you to build your legacy, all of that stuff. And so that's why the government created this program, right? So Athena said, I have a bakery. Okay. Interesting. And so that's gonna be one of the services. Actually, I'm gonna make a note. So Elizabeth, make a note. So I want to look up bakery, right? I'm gonna look at how much the government spends on baking services. You're gonna be absolutely surprised. And so I want to look up a couple of the different things. So if you want me to look that up for you live, I only have time to do a couple, maybe 2 or 3, right? But post it in the chat what it is that you do, and we'll look that up live. Okay. So how you can get regular paying customers without stressing about, you know, where your next customer is going to come. Right. And so, cause this is pool, they're already saying, hey, we need to give this money to people. Right. And so you can do this without spending countless hours on posting on social media. You can do all of that. Right. And without undervaluing your price. Right. And so just like my client, Tiffany, who was selling services, for like $300, $500, maybe $600. And she landed her first 5-figure contract for like a 90-minute video to edit that. Right. And so you don't have to cut your prices. In fact, with the government, you want to multiply, you want to duplicate, you want to double, triple, quadruple your rates, because they'll pay it. Right. They'll definitely pay it. Okay. Performance coaching. Okay. Film and theater. All right. Okay, so this is a proven system that absolutely works when you implement it. Okay, so it works when you implement it. So we already went through the first two phases, right? The business and the certifications. Okay, so myth number 3. This is step number 3, right? Most people think that contracting with government agencies is for labor type businesses, construction based businesses. So most people, that's what they think. Most small business owners, they believe that that this is something that only construction businesses can do with the government, but that is a total myth. They have no idea that you can also land government contracts for your own business, right? With your products and services that you're already selling. Okay. And so sometimes you have to be a little bit creative, and sometimes you have to think outside the box, but it's definitely always possible. It's definitely always possible. So most people think that, you have to already be a government contractor to do business. So you have to be in the government realm to do business, but you don't. Okay. So the truth is anyone can do business with the government, right? And in fact, once you've positioned your business, right, foundation, and you've identified yourself as a small business, a woman-owned small business, a veteran-owned small business, or a local business, right? Once you have those identifications, then they'll begin notifying you with opportunities all the time. You'll start receiving email notifications to bid on this, email opportunities for things that they're looking for in business under the codes that you register with, right? Which are your service codes. Okay, so all you have to do is submit a response. Okay, that's it. They'll let you know what they're looking for, and you submit a response. And so there's trillions of dollars in contracts that are set aside for small businesses. And right now, I'm going to share with you. I'm going to do a live demonstration to show you exactly how much the government spends on your products and services. But also, I only have time to, to look up a couple, but definitely, let's see, health education, smoking cessation, reversing diabetes. Okay, so I'm gonna share. I'm gonna bust up all this stuff. I'm gonna share with you guys, like really how to really look it up. Okay, so I do mindset coaching as well as business coaching. So, okay, so that's business consulting. Okay, it's going to be business consulting. All right, so let me go ahead and show you guys. So first of all, the first thing that I want to show, and I want to welcome everyone who joined us. Let me see, Athena, we have Angela, Tracy. Okay, I just want to say hello to everyone. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Derek. Whoever I didn't say hello to. So I want to share with you all first some real information, right? Because a lot of times, the government, in the government world, right, it's a whole different language, right? And so sometimes we call our thing one thing and they call it something else. And so there's a translation that has to happen, right? There's a lot of people that say, hey, I'm a mind coach, I'm a mindset coach or whatever, but you have to understand what it is. What is that in government language, right? In government world. And so the first thing you can do is go to NAICS.com. Okay, so before I show you what I'm going to show you, I just want to share with you this tool, NAICS.com. Find your NAICS code by looking up your keyword. So if I put in janitorial services, right, there's going to be a code that comes up. So everything in this system, the government buys. Okay, so if you put in something like mindset coach, I'm going to tell you what happens. If you go to the government and say, I'm a mindset coach, no results, right? So you really have to think about mindset. What is that? Is that counseling? So you got to think about the keywords. What exactly? So we have to dig deep. What exactly is it that I do, right? Am a mindset for financial literacy? And if that's the case, it's going to fall under some keyword with finance. Okay. And so that's just an example. Okay. So every single service that you provide has a code, and every single code that you provide, the government has a pool of money that they spend on that code. Okay. So for some of us and most of us, we have multiple, there's going to be multiple codes, right? For an example, and this is an example that I really love to share because I want to really show you how to think outside the box and how to really, leverage this knowledge, right, to do business with the government. So here's an example. So let's just say there's a childcare provider, right? You may think, oh, do the government buy childcare services? And they absolutely do, right? And so if in general we're thinking that childcare can only watch kids and get paid, okay? But let me tell you about multiple streams of income when you become a government contractor, okay? So that same childcare provider that's doing daycare, right? That's daycare, before school services, right? And then we have after school services, okay? If they're helping kids with homework, that's tutorial services. If they're feeding kids during the day, that's nutritional services. If they're helping parents, who are in two separate households, solve their conflicts, right? That's peer-to-peer counseling. If they're taking pictures of their kids once a year, that's photography services. That's 6 different services. All of those streams of income the government buys. They buy those services. So you get paid in multiple ways, right? And so really inside my program, and this is like some of the strategies that I work with with my clients on, is I show you how to identify exactly what it is that you do, right? Sometimes you got to dig deep. And then we pick out, what exactly do you do in your business? Like for health and education, right? What do you do exactly in health and education, right? Do you counsel? Do you teach? Do you write curriculum? All of those things are streams of income. Okay. And so those are the things that I really want you to do. Like even after this live training, I want you to go to this site, NAICS.com. I want you to go to the site and just type in your keywords and find your codes. Right. And then the next thing I want you to do is, here's how much the government spends on your services. Right. So this is a website called usaspending.gov, right? And so, like I said, in 2019, the government spent $4.45 trillion in business services and products, okay? Excuse me. And this is on the federal side. So this is federal budget spending, right? So just imagine when you combine federal, state, and local spending, how much money is being spent by the government in general, right? And a percentage of all their spending goes to small business owners just like you, okay? So, excuse me. So we're going to do an advanced search. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do an advanced search, and I'm actually just going to look for the last 2 years under the NAICS code. So that stands for North American Industry Classification System. And if I put the code in that I just copied for janitorial services, right, and do a submit search, it's going to show me exactly how much the government spends on janitorial services, okay? So here over time, it's going to say $1.3 billion in 2018, $1.6 billion in 2019, right? And because most of you are women and minority small business owners, I just want to break it down just for women and minority small business owners, like how much of this money went to our types of businesses, okay? And so recipient type, so if I go here and put in women and minority owned businesses and submit search, under the same code, 366 million, right? Out of those billions, 534 million, right? So you know the numbers that is because there's an M here, or there's going to be a B here, or whatever. And so millions and millions of dollars went to women and minority owned businesses. And so for those of you who say you do janitorial services, are you one of those businesses? And if not, would you like to be one of those businesses? Do you want to be? Like, if I were you, I would want to be one of those businesses. And so to go even deeper, right, I'm still looking at women and minority owned businesses, and I'm going to show you the contract dollar amounts. And this is the reason why I say that every small business owner needs to have the government as a client. I don't care if you still have your personal clients. I don't care if you still have your, the business clients, doesn't matter. The government needs to become one of your clients, period, because this is going to be a game changer for you, right? And so here are all the women and minority small business owners that landed janitorial contracts in 2019 and 2018. And I'm going to show you the dollar amounts, right, are ridiculous, and the terms, right? So this is where consistent, sustainable income comes in. This contract was from 2012 to 2018. So this is it was 6 year, almost 5 year, like 5 to 6 year contract for $52 million, right? So you divide that by 5 years. That's like almost 10, 12 million a year, right? So this is huge. It's huge, okay? And so here's another janitorial company, Design Build. This is another 5 year contract for $43 million. So we're talking about consistent, sustainable, regular income, right? Imagine getting a contract like that during pandemics like COVID, when everything is shutting down except the government, right? For 5 years, you're set. You don't have to stress about anything, right? Okay, so and that's just what it is. Janitorial services. I'm trying to look for a smaller year term. But yeah, these are like most of these are like 5 years. So here's one for 1 year. That's what I want to see. So for 1 year, right? This is exactly a year, $15 million for 1 year. And this is with the federal government. I'm gonna show you the Department of Urban Housing and Urban Development with HUD. Okay. And so when you really think about it, like, the government has money, and you probably won't think like you can do business with HUD, Department of Defense, right? You can do business with the city. You can do business with, whoever, Department of Treasury, like, it's crazy. Department of Transportation, right? And so they're all in our backyard, and they all have money for you, right? And so that's what it is. So let me see who else put their code there. Let me see. Thank you, Crystal. She said, this is amazing. Now, what's the code for janitorial services? So that code was 561720. So the site to look up your code is NAICS.com. So it's NAICS.com. So, yep. So that's what it is, NAICS.com. So D Bowling said, I have my NAICS. Oh, so D, so what is your NAICS code? Drop it in the chat. I'm gonna look it up. So that's a very unique service. So let me see. So I'm gonna look that up. I think someone said they do marketing on here, or let me see, who said marketing? Somebody said marketing, so I'm gonna look that up as well. All right. So let me share my screen. All right. So I'm gonna look up marketing, and then I'm gonna look up marketing consulting services, right? Because I think someone said that they do marketing services on here. And then we're gonna do a reset. 2018, 2019. You see how simple it is to look this up. So this is all like market research and understanding like your market share, right? What's out there for you, the possibilities of you doing business with the government. So this is how you look that stuff up. So marketing consulting services for 2017, for 2018, 2019. First I want to see just general how much. So 192 million. 230 million in 2019. And then if I look up recipient type for women and minority owned businesses only, it'll show me some different numbers. So 48 million in 2018, 71 million. And so that's almost a third, like 30% went to women and minority small business owners, which is a really great number. And so let's look at the dollar amounts for marketing services. This is a 5-year contract for 20 million. This is a 5-year for 12 million. And let me see if there's like a 1 year. So here's like a 2-year. Here's like a 2-year contract for 5 million. And so these are huge. And let me tell you, and I'm also going to look up D's code. Okay, so that's going to be the last one. That's a tricky code because we got to see if that's what's happening there. So clothing and water service. Oh, water? Let me tell you, Tracy. I'm gonna just look that up too, just for the heck of it. I'm gonna look up water. Okay. So let me do a reset really quick. But I'm going to tell you, like, so my first multiple 6-figure contract came from the Department of Transportation, right? These are things that you probably would never even think you can do photography services for the Department of Transportation, right? But it is. And that the largest contract that I've had have come from that. And so these are the things, like it's important to have your business foundation and doing your certifications and understanding like which certification is for what level of government and what agencies you can do business with. And those are all things that, I show you and I walk you through in my program. So here are collection agencies. So there we go with that. Collection agencies. I've never looked this one up. so 540 million in 2018, 676 million in 2019. Okay. And so let's just see, the market share for, what's going to women and minority business owners. Okay. So 259 million and 344 million in 2019. So that's a lot. And so another thing you can do is like, you can actually look for all fiscal years, right? You can, and just look at the trend, right? And see, is that a growing market? And according to this, is growing, right? So this is 2020. The fiscal year hasn't closed, which means if it's been growing over the past 10 years, then guess what? They have this gap. They have a lot of money left on the table and they're waiting for you. They have a lot of money left to give. So, so that's how you look that up. And then I'm just going to check one more and then we're going to get through because it's already 7. I want to make sure that I'm respectful of everybody's time because, people need to go to sleep. So I'm going to look up water and I'm just going to look it up really quick for Tracy. Because you will be amazed at how much you can make just selling water to the government. Okay. Bottled water, beverage. So bottled water, I think that's the code. I believe that's the code. Okay. So this is for those who have opportunities to find. So Derek, you're not going to find anything specific on diabetes. It's going to go under health. Okay. So that's like your keyword is going to be health. Okay. Or it may be under dietitian or something like that. So you have to just kind of play with the keywords. Let me see here. I don't see anything, but maybe I'm looking up the wrong code, but definitely I'm going to tell you, this is for bottled water manufacturing. So if you actually, do or sell water, it looks like, on the federal level, in 2020, they didn't really spend, they haven't spent much, right? 2019 don't look like they spent a lot, but 2020, they spent like 10 million on bottled water services. But however, this is just a federal government. And so what I know for a fact, on the state level, they have $500,000 contracts right now for bottled water services. And so, yes, so this definitely shows you that they're spending money on bottled water services. And so you don't even have to be the manufacturer. You can just be the third party, the middleman, the party in between that makes it happen, that makes the connection. Okay. All right. So let me see if there's any questions down there. I don't see any questions, so I'm just going to keep going. All right. So how to get from point A to point B, right? We just went through the whole 3-step BCP system, right? Business foundation is key. Certifications, you need to identify yourself to the government, right? And this last step really is going to be about proposals. And it's really about, because once you start getting opportunities and identifying yourself with the government, they'll start sending you opportunities, and you just have to submit proposals. So that last step is really going to be a rinse and repeat. So once you get through the first 2 phases, the last step is really a rinse and repeat. And so to get away from being a struggling small business owner that has inconsistent income months, where you're constantly chasing customers, so that you can become a thriving small business that's landing those multiple 5- to 6-figure contracts, then those are the 3 secrets. Those are the 3 steps that you have to go through, right? Those are the exact same system, the exact same steps that you have to go through to get from point A to point B. Okay. And this system is the 3-step BCP system, which is qualify your business so that you can be certified to submit proposals. That is it. It's just that simple, right? And this is exactly the strategy that I've used in my business, the same strategy that my clients are landing multiple $million contracts using this exact same system. So qualify your business so that you can be certified to submit proposals. That is it. All right. So I made it really, really, really simple for you. Okay. So here's another story. My client, Alfonso, who actually is a painter, he's a minority owned business here locally where I am. He went through my 3-step BCP system, where I helped him qualify his business to get certified as a government contractor so that he can submit proposals. And his goal was to just keep his employees, right? And so he's now landing multiple 6-figure contracts. In fact, he's been featured in a lot of local media because of his success in retaining his employees. And so that was his goal. And so he's now able to do that, landing contracts with the city and the state. My other client, Nikki, who's a woman-owned business as well. She's a minority business owner in New York, who went through my 3-step BCP system. She implemented the system into her business. She provides marketing services. And before working with me, she went from selling her social media marketing services for $60 to do like week-long campaigns for people. And she went from, doing that to being able to bid and land on multiple 6-figure contracts, like 200. Her first contract that she ever bidded on with the government doing the exact same services was $200,000. Okay. And so that is the difference. It's a night and day system. It's really night and day. Okay. So is it easy? No, it's not. And I'm not gonna sit here and make it seem like it's just gonna be that easy. It's not gonna fall out the sky. You have to do work, right? It's gonna get uncomfortable, especially when you're doing the certifications process. There's a lot of paperwork. It could be daunting, right? But that's why you have me. I'm there to help you every step of the way. And so it's a lot of work, but it's definitely worth it. And it's going to take some growing pains, right? And so if you're not willing to get uncomfortable, right, then it's not going to be for you, because you have to get uncomfortable to go to your next phase. You have to get uncomfortable to go to your next phase in business, right? You have to grow, right? It's called growing pains. So now do you see how implementing this simple 3-step BCP system into your own business can help you start getting consistent, sustainable income as a small business? Do you see it? Let me know in the chat. Do you see that? Do you see it? I hope I enlightened you and empowered you with information to where you're seeing this. Okay. Let me know in the chat if you see it. Yeah. So Carolyn said yes. Elizabeth said yes. Tracy said yes, indeed. Absolutely. Crystal said yes. I see it. Absolutely. You definitely have to, right? And so Adrian said yep. Roxanne said yes, yes, yes. All right, cool. Awesome. Awesome. So, all right, where's my Hold on, my mouse is doing something strange. Computer does strange things. So now you can do this even if you have very little experience or no experience at all. Okay. So, and this is my story. When I first landed my first contract, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. Nothing. And it was to go out 2 hours a day to go take pictures on a construction site. I didn't know the first thing about construction at all. I didn't know what the terminologies were. I didn't know none of that stuff, but I faked it until I made it. So you can do this even if you have no experience, right? So now I'm the expert on it. I know exactly what I'm doing. But before I didn't. And so even if you have no experience before, you can definitely still do business with the government. So most small business owners think you have to be have a completely polished portfolio in order, of contracts that you've won in the past and, all these amazing things that you've done to do business with the government. And that's a myth, right? They think that, you have to be this large corporation already that's generating millions of dollars to do business with this big giant, and you don't. You could be making zero in your business right now and do business with the government. And that is why they have these programs, because they want to help you as a small business. They want to help you grow so that you can become the employer in your city. You can employ people and help the economy, stimulate the economy. And so that is the $1 trillion secret. The truth is, behind this $1 trillion secret is small business contracting is designed specifically for you if you have very little experience. It's designed specifically for you if you're a woman in business, if you're a minority in business, if you're a disabled veteran, if you're an LGBT group, if you're a Native American, if you're a part of any socioeconomic status or any socioeconomic group that has been disadvantaged or marginalized and haven't had opportunities. That is why this program exists. It exists to help you. Okay. So the government wants to help you build capacity so that you can build your portfolio in return. Right. So you have to build capacity so that you can build your portfolio. So you don't have to come with a polished portfolio in the beginning. Okay. And that's why they have these contracts that are set aside, which means nobody else can touch them but you. Right. But if you're not showing up, then they just have these buckets of money at the end of the year that they can't find people. There's not enough people claiming it. There's not enough people for them to give this money to. So you can do this as a sole proprietor. My first business was a sole proprietor. Ship and I was still landing multiple contracts as a sole proprietor, right? So you don't have to have a corporation, you don't have to have an LLC. All you have to have is a business. So if you're a sole proprietor, it's not a big deal, okay? And this is the law, right? It's written in the Small Business Act of July 30, 1953. You can absolutely look it up, and it stipulates that the SBA has to ensure a small, fair portion of their contracting opportunities to small businesses. They have to give it away, right? They have to do business with you. And the same for surplus property. So they have surplus property that they have to give away to small businesses and minority businesses and stuff like that. Not give away, but sell at a very cheap rate or give it away if you're a nonprofit. So the government is obligated, right? So it's not something that they say, oh, little Pookie, I just want to help you. No, they got to give that money away and we want to claim what's ours, okay? So the government is obligated to spend money with certified women business owners, okay? And certified minority business owners and certify all the other groups that I shared, right? But in order to be certified, there's a process. You have to do all the paperwork to do that. And so basically in getting certified, you're raising your hand and saying, hey, I'm one of those members. I'm a member of that group. And so this is the exact 3-step system I used to land my first $70,000 contract for just 28 days of work. Is the exact same system that I used to land multiple 6-figure contracts in 6 months. Same system that I'm using today, right? And it's the same system that I share with my clients, right? Same system that my client Jimmy used to land his first major security contract, generating $70,000 a month, which is ridiculous, right? I mean, you can do it too. And just after he landed that, a multiple 6-figure contract came through the city. And so, right. So anyone can do this stuff. It doesn't matter what it is, right? I'm certain that, that all he work will be worth, all the work will be, yeah, absolutely. All the work will definitely be worth it. And so, yeah, so it's definitely work, right? But it's worth it. And the same way that we were chasing customers, that we were doing all this guerrilla marketing on social media, you know, and not getting any results, this time you're going to be doing something that's going to get you results, right? It's definitely, the hard work is going to pay off. Okay. And Shantia, who was actually just in my program a couple of months ago. So she's a woman-owned minority business who sells college readiness software, and she actually implemented my system into her business. She was already gung-ho when she came to me, right? So she was already self-driven, motivated, and that never give up type of person. And so she landed her first contract in the 5th week of us working together in a 6-week program, okay? And so, and she sold her app that she created and designed to the government, okay? So now do you see how my 3-step BCP system is a repeatable system that you can use to reel in clients on a regular basis, okay? It's a repeatable system, right? So all you're doing is business certifications, proposals. Once you get through the first 2, the proposals is rinse and repeat. And you can do that until you're ready to retire, period. And that is it. And so you just learned the 3 secrets to getting consistent, sustainable income as a small business, right? That was my promise in the beginning. You learned it. You learned the $1 trillion secret to government contracts, right? Which is they have these contracts set aside for you that they have to give away. You can significantly, you learned how you can significantly grow your business using this system. Okay. You learn how much the government spends on your business services and your products, right? You learn how to look that up. And you learn the simple steps to how you can land the government as your biggest client, which is the 3-step system, right? That is the simple 3-step system to, you know, landing the government as your biggest client. Okay. So do you see this for yourself? And if so, go ahead and type yes in the chat. Do you see this something that you can leverage inside your business? Okay. Give me a yes in the chat. So now do you see how government contracts is the best thing that a small business could do? Do you see that? Okay. So let me see. Crystal says yes. Tracy, yes. Carolyn, yes. Tamika, yes. Roxanne, yes. Athena, yes. Crystal, again, yes. Okay, awesome. Yeah. Elizabeth, yes. Yeah. Okay. So it's definitely a clear strategy that's proven to work. It's a market where customers are waiting for you, right? They're waiting to do business with you, and they're basically spending money and are saying, hey, I need you to show up. That's it, right? And so it sounds simple, and it is simple, but at the same time, you know, it's work. Okay, it does take work. Okay, but it's so worth the work that goes into it. And once you build that momentum, you will have, trust me, more than full-time income on less than part-time work. Okay. So this is the 3-step system that I teach inside my $1 trillion government contracts accelerator program, which I'm going to share with you what that's about. Right. And here's where you learn inside the government contracts accelerator program. Right. I want to share with you, you know, what you will learn in working with me and how we can work together. So you're going to learn more about, excuse me, how much the government spends on your products and services. Right. On the local, state, and federal level. So all 3 levels you're going to understand, so that you can identify how much money is basically on the table for you. You'll see how much you're losing every year that you're not in position to get these contracts, and so that you can begin claiming your piece of the pie. So you don't have to spend any more countless hours marketing to the wrong customers who are not responding. And you can learn where to find customers who are already spending money on the services that you provide, and they have budgets for it, right? So no more cutting your prices, no more giving the homeboy hookups, all that stuff. They're ready to spend, and they're ready to spend big dollars with you. Okay. So you're also going to learn how to qualify your business for local, state, and federal contracts. We go through the whole gamut, right? So if the federal government is spending $4.4 trillion, right, and a certain percentage is going to your socioeconomic groups, just imagine when you combine that with the federal and local spending, right? So the city where you are, they have contracts all over. The state that you live in, they have contracts for you, as well as the federal. Okay. So this helps you to really scale your business on demand by landing contracts with all levels of government. And these are major clients, right? In government agencies and sub-agencies who already value you as a small business owner. And so You're also going to learn inside the program how to use the exact language that the agencies are looking for to market your services. And so instead of spending money on marketing and money on ads and all of that stuff, you can market yourself for free. And I show you that inside the program. So you'll have a simple and effective way to market yourself to the government agencies, without spending a single penny on marketing. Okay. So you'll learn who cuts the biggest checks. So out of all of the government agencies on a federal, state, and local level, we'll identify who are the ones with the biggest budgets. So you can have a strategy of who to target and how to market yourself to them for free, how to get on their radar, all of those things, right? And the most important thing you'll learn with me is how to respond to these contracting opportunities. Because like I said, the government world is a completely different language. And so you have to understand how to respond in their language, right? So you have to know what those languages are, what type of contracting opportunities, and how to respond to each contracting opportunity appropriately, right? According to what they're expecting you to respond with. Okay. So, and then we have some strategic things that we learn in the program, which is 3 ways to increase your income with government contracts. And so there's 3 main ways that you can land contracts as a prime, a sub, or a partner. And so I show you all those strategies so you can understand like how to really maximize and optimize on opportunities like this. And so how to also grow your business with supplier diversity. And so this is a bonus. This is a bonus lesson that we actually cover. So we covered a lot about government contracting, but we also cover on the corporate side, like there's 500 Fortune corporations that have similar programs just like this, right? And so just imagine doing business on both sides of the world. And so I share that in the training as a bonus in case you are ready to scale and you're ready to advance your business on those levels, right? And so with that, we learn how much the government spends, how to qualify your business, how to use the exact language that the government agencies are looking for, who cuts the big checks, like all of these things, responding to contracting opportunities, 3 ways to increase your income with government contracts, and how to grow your business with supplier diversity, right? And there's so many other things that, bonuses that, that I throw in, including like business credit, now that you have this amazing foundation. And so total value of all of these individual pieces of the training is about a value of $9,029, right? So by the time that you complete this program, you'll know the exact ins and out of the government contracting space, how to navigate that, right? And yes, you can do this even if you have absolutely no experience, right? Your business will be officially certified as a woman and minority small business. You'll learn how to research your market so that you will know exactly how much the government spends on your services on all levels of government. You'll also know where to find contracting opportunities and how to bid on them. You learn the business, your business will be entered into multiple databases where you'll begin receiving automatic bidding opportunities. So in those databases, they'll start reaching out to you. So we're flipping the coins from you chasing customers to those customers chasing you, okay? You'll know how to market your business to the government agencies in the language that they understand, and you'll know exactly how to read proposals and how to write proposals. And so that is going to be so key to landing 5, 6, and even multiple 7-figure contracts for your business. Okay. So here's the deal. You can take everything that I share with you, because I share with you the complete strategy. And of course you do have choices, right? You can take, what you learned today and you can completely attempt to do it on your own, or you can choose to work alongside with me where I help you through each step, every phase of the way. You get my unlimited support and I help you through the process, right? We do have a program that's actually a group that's starting up on Monday, the 20th. And so enrollment for that upcoming course coaching program is actually closing in 3 days. Okay. But today, even though the value of this program is well over close to $10,000 in value, you're not going to pay that. Right. So inside this program, what you're going to get in working with me is 6 weekly coaching and Q&A sessions. You'll get all the workbooks and assignments, of course, access to my private Facebook group where you'll have unlimited support. And then also my personal accountability, right? Because that's going to be key, right? When you're frustrated and don't want to do the work, I'm that person that's going to tap on your shoulder and say, hey, have you done it today? And so, excuse me, and you'll have my personal assistance in implementing the entire 3-step BCP system into your business, and then lifetime access to all of the trainings that we do on government contracts. And so it's a one-time investment today of only $49.97, right? So you may say, hey, excuse me, I'm losing my voice. Give me 1 second. Drink a little bit of water. I've been talking too long, y'all. So I'm gonna get through this, and we're almost done. So you may say, hey, $49.97. Well, I don't have $49.97 to make 6 figures. Think about that. Just think about it. and I don't expect you to have it all up front, right? There's payment plans, and I'm gonna share with you what that is. But my note, and I made a note specifically for women and minority small business owners, because this is where we get stumbled up, right? Don't let $49.97 keep you from landing multiple 70K, right? And this is something that you can do and you will do, right? It's just a matter of executing, okay? And so the 6-week government contracts accelerated coaching program, there's an option, there's some payment options here, either a one-time payment of $49.97, or these are the installment options that we have. You have the option of doing 6 payments of $874.50, 10 payments of $537.50, or 12 payments of $469.16. And notice this is in-house. Like, this is something that I do in-house because I want to help my people and I want to help empower you. And so you can get the information that you need to take your business to the next level. And so I'm willing to, do in-house financing for you if this is something that you want to do. Here's a quick start bonus, right? If you enroll today while on this webinar, there's some bonuses that I want to throw into the bucket, okay? So in addition to this 6-week $1 trillion government contracts coaching program that's valued at $99,029, you get an additional an additional $1,000 and $1,046 in added bonuses. Okay, so what that includes is we have some swag. We have a Flip My Business government contracts hoodie. We have valued at $50, which you'll get by enrolling today. You'll also get my How to Get Regular Paying Customers workshop valued at $197. You'll get Flip My Business with Government Contracts mug that's valued at $25. My newly released ebook, which is called the 3-step BCP system, that's valued at $55. Okay. You'll also receive my 6-figure GovCon bid tracker sheet, right? This is a $299 value. This is where you track your bids, you track what you're bidding on, what level of government you're bidding on. Did you get the, who's the contact? What's the deadline? Did you get the contract? If not, did you follow up? And so all of this information is going to really, really help you catapult your business, okay? And you also get 6 months access to my one-on-one Marco Polo mentoring. So outside of the group, we have a Marco Polo small business mentoring program where you actually get one-on-ones with me, okay? So all of that stuff you're going to get. So the grand value of this particular package when you're enrolling today is going to be $10,075, okay? So that's the total value, okay? But again, you're not going to pay that. You're going to pay $49.97. And again, this is what you get inside the program. But after the webinar, all the bonuses goes away, okay? And you can also still get all the bonuses if you're making your installment payments, if you're doing installments, okay? So Elizabeth actually is dropping the installment options in the link, like all the payment plans and everything in the link. And so, you can choose the 4-month payment, the 6-month payment, and then I think she's dropping the 10 and 12. Did you drop that? Yeah. Okay, so she's dropping all the links. She's dropping the link. So if you're enrolled on a webinar, you still get the bonuses even if you have choose the installment options. So with your first deposit, even the minimum deposit, I think it's like 4 something, you still get the bonuses. Okay. So after the webinar, the quick start bonuses goes away. But you still get this amazing value of, $9,029 for just the $49.97. The, installment options are still available. And inside the program, again, you get the 6 weekly coaching and Q&A sessions, all the workbooks, assignments, access to my private Facebook group where you get unlimited support. And it's an amazing group of people who are winning. government contracts who are officially becoming, certified contractors. And so it's a really great community to be a part of. And so you get my personal accountability, right? And then my personal assistance in helping you implement this whole system, okay? And then again, you get lifetime access to all of the trainings, okay? So so let me see if there's any notes here. What if you want to join but can't make the first payment until Tuesday? So Athena, so you won't be able to get the bonus, but you'll still be able to, everything else is still included. So the quick start bonus is just for those who enroll like right today, right? You enroll today during a webinar. But Tuesday, you still get everything else, right? You still get everything else. So all of the information I help you through, the complete package, is the only thing that's going away is the swag, like the extra swag. So don't worry about that. Okay. So yeah, so Athena, definitely on Tuesday, you can enroll on Tuesday. So you'll miss the first session, but we'll record the session and share it with you once you do enroll. And then you can catch up and then join us on the following Monday. Okay. So let me know in the chat if you're ready to take action and grow your business with government contracts. Type ready. Let me know if you're ready. Like if this is something that you want to do and you're ready to take your business to the next level and you want me to help you, just type ready in the chat. Okay. Let me know. So Crystal says ready. Tracy says ready. Let's see. Athena says great, can't wait. Awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so now this is not going to be for anyone that's not willing to do the work. Like I said, it's not magic, right? You have to do the work, right? But you have me to support you every step of the way. And I definitely help you implement the entire system into your business. So you'll have a complete blueprint and you don't have to worry about anything because you have me. You have my brain share. Everything that I know, I'm going to share with you, okay? Roxanne says she's ready. Awesome. Okay, so let me see if there's let me see something. Okay, so Roxanne says she's ready. Let's see. I was trying to see if it's anybody's okay. Awesome. So yeah, you definitely have to do the work. Okay. And I'm almost done to wrap this up. So my 3-step BCP system is designed as a learning and doing interactive program. And so we learn and you implement. We learn and you implement. That is how it works. So it's not like where you get to binge watch all the training. No, this is live and we're learning this stuff step by step. There's going to be little building blocks. And so there's going to be little bitty milestones that you're going to be making along the way. And so you learn it, you implement. And so by the end of the 6 weeks, you're going to be ready to rock and roll, ready to build, ready to bid. Your certifications are going to be coming complete. And so you have a full blueprint and strategy on, getting those government contracts. And so it doesn't take, it's not going to take you, years, to learn this because you have my support. So ready, but may need to enroll in one of your other programs. So Carolyn, okay. So Carolyn says one of your other programs on the website. Okay. So Carolyn says she's ready in another one. Oh, later. So if you're ready to get sustainable, consistent income for your business and you'd like to work alongside me, then let me know in the chat. So we have a few people that's ready. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat as well. I'm here to answer any questions that you have. So I know I covered a lot. I know there's a lot, that I covered in the program, but I definitely hope that, that it was something, information that you can actually understand. So, and you understand like how life-changing that this could be for you in your business. Okay. No questions. Okay. So I don't see any questions. Let's see. This wasn't very enlightening. Thank you. Thank you, Carolyn. You're absolutely welcome. Okay. So I'm going to stop the screen share. I don't see any questions, so no questions. Derek Ronay, you made it. I was like, I didn't even know that was you at first. I was like, who is that? It's Crystal. Okay, we have Carolyn, Athena. Thank you all for staying to the end. And so let's see. I don't see where I will fit in. Derek. Okay, so Derek, what services do you provide? Oh, so you said, and so we can talk offline. So you said you do something with health and health education. Okay. So, let me say this. So you do fit in, and there are contracts for health. And so really we just need to do a strategy. I think we need to do, you and I just do a strategy session, because we need to identify some things that's going to help it, help you understand like where you fit in. Because you got to think about with the government, right? And here's an example. Like there's a lot of musicians that I know, right? And I'm like, oh, did you know you can get 6-figure contracts being a musician for the government? And people didn't know that, right? They have events, you can do it that way. They have chapels on the Navy bases, right? So they hire ministers of music. It's crazy, like multiple 6 figures. And so definitely health is a big thing for the government. In fact, training, health, like all of those things is a big thing for the Navy, for the military. They buy health supplements, okay? Health education, they have educators, especially right now, when you're talking about health. So it depends on, how flexible are you? Because COVID is a big thing, and the government is throwing out tons of money on health services, on like health supplies, health services, health education, health classes. And so you have to be flexible, right? Even with dietitian, you got to think about it. Veterans, right? Disabled veterans, right? That's a part of the government. They have contracts. They have health issues, right? And so they need consultants, all of that. And so definitely it's something that you can do. Absolutely. And so I think if we get on a strategy session, I can just kind of help you, we can help you identify some opportunities. And so you can see that this is a value for you in particular. And so, you're welcome. And so, so if you go to qualifyforgovernmentcontracts.com, and Elizabeth, you can post that in the chat for me. If you go to qualifyforgovernmentcontracts.com, Derek, then you can schedule a focus session with myself or my team. And so we can kind of go from there. But definitely, health is something that the government spends money on. And I wish it was something in particular that I knew up front, but I definitely see opportunities and contracting opportunities in that field all the time, right? So are there any other questions? Let me see. Thank you for sharing this amazing opportunity. Thank you, Roxanne. Yeah, thank you so much. Let me see. I'm just kind of looking up something on the side. Okay. So food. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and share this, what I'm looking up right now. So I'm looking up health, right? And so all of these are health codes. So you have to just kind of figure out which one of these areas you fall in. Are you a health, do you provide supplements, or are you a health coach? Because all of that, life, health, medical carrier, like, so it's a lot of things under health. And so we just really just kind of have to have a strategy session to figure out which ones, because it's going to be multiple areas that your services could fall under. Okay. All right. Any other questions before we go? Thank you. You guys are so quiet. Are y'all inspired? Did you mention BitNet? So, so I didn't, and purposely I didn't. So BitNet, So, yeah. I mean, because there's a lot. I mean, because the agencies, once you become certified with the agencies, they have their own. They post things on their sites, right? They have their own pool of stuff. Like when it comes to third party stuff, when it comes to like third party websites and stuff, it's hit and miss. It's just hit and miss. They're third party. They're pulling stuff from other places to post it on their site anyway, and then a lot of times you got to pay to have access to that. So no, that is not a part of the strategy. It's not something that I recommend. They keep harassing me. Yeah. So yeah, they harassing you because they want you to pay for third party stuff. That's why. Let me see. Dr. Angela. Hi, Angela. Let me see. You've provided a wonderful amount of info. Thank you. I really wish my network of folks were on this webinar with you. As you know, the majority of my income is with the state. So we have a government contractor on here. That's Angela, Dr. Angela. So she actually has a 6-figure business with government contracts, and she's also has private clients. And so look, this stuff works. and I'm pretty sure, Angela, you're not spending 40-hour work weeks, right, on that contract. So yeah, so you can really build a significant business with this. Thank you for joining, everyone. See, no, yeah. So there's Angela. Yeah, she definitely is not spending 40-hour work weeks. Yeah, you're an employee, right? So it's very part time. Let me just put it like this: I probably work maybe once or twice a month on a multi six-figure business in with the government, and so it's freedom, right? And so it's on you. It's up to you. Like if this is something that you want to do in your business, it's attainable. It's something that you absolutely can do. But you know, you got to be willing to learn the information and to grow, right? And so sometimes people are not ready to grow to that next level, and that's okay. But you have to go somewhere with your business. If you're not a six-figure business, if you're not getting consistent income, then what are you going to do to change that? Okay. So that's the question that you have to answer. So we reach out for any questions. Again, Elizabeth dropped the email in her email in the chat, elizabeth@shesgotgoals.com. So she is my assistant. So she is a part of my business success team, and she's very well trained and understands all of this stuff. So you can reach out to Elizabeth with any questions that you have. All right. So that's it for the night.